if she tryna choose, tell her I don't take a rose. Known to hit, make her fall in love and take a soul. Yeah, check the body count, but I ain't saving bones. This a favorite song once I go and lay the votes. Circle staying close, strangers taking notes, so we stay at home. Traps hot, McCartney cooking at the cribbo. Y'all done set the boss so low, it got the game I love and live. Oh, guess I gotta go and save it.
What's going on, guys? Get over the speed bump here. Got a tanker load here going out to Odessa. And that's what I'm doing. I'm headed towards Odessa. Just left from getting loaded. Hope all of you are doing well. If you're new to the channel, smash that like and subscribe button. You know I appreciate it. Helps me out, helps the channel out. It's only my third day and I haven't hauled liquid in a long time, so still getting used to the surge. And of course these are all smooth bore. These ISOs as well as our silver bullets are all smooth bore, so a lot of surge. And you gotta time the shifting out just right. If you try to shift whenever it's surging back, it doesn't work out so well. You'll grind the shit out of them. But other than that, everything's been going good. We're gonna get on through town here, and then when I get up on the highway, there's something I wanted to talk about. You know, I'm kind of wondering, you know, this migrant situation. Let me turn that CB down. This migrant situation, how many of them we're gonna end up with in trucking. And I've been doing a little bit of research, and that's what I'm gonna talk about. But first, let's get through town and get up on the interstate. Cooking with peanut oil now. Let me get the cruise control set. We can do 78 here, but it'll take me a while to get up to 78. I'm pretty much climbing when I first get on the highway, but I'll get to a little bit of downgrade up here in a minute. I'll be able to catch it. Anyway, I want to talk about this migrant situation and how many of them might possibly end up in trucking. At first I wasn't really worried about it because, you know, I was like, well, you gotta be able to speak English, read, write, and speak English. But then you get to looking around and you realize that shippers and receivers and stuff, when you're, you know, other drivers are in there with you picking up their paperwork, getting loaded or whatever, that there's quite a few drivers that don't understand hardly any English at all. No way they passed a CDL on their own unless it was in their language. So it made me curious. I wanted to do a little bit of research, you know, because there's got to be a way that they're getting through the system. You know, as crazy as it may sound, I mean, are they paying for it? Do they have fake license? Do they, you know, there's got to be something. Because I've dealt with quite a few that can't read, write, or speak English at all. You know, I've had them in front of me in line when they're trying to communicate. And oftentimes I've wondered, like, how did they get their license? Now, there's a lot of drivers out here that speak a lot of different languages. And it would take forever to do the research to try to figure out, you know, how they're getting in here. You know, the Russians, Ukrainians, you know, just a lot of different languages out here. And being I'm from Texas, I decided I would research the Spanish language. Like, is there a gateway for these guys that are coming across the border to get into trucking, not being able to speak English? And I found a couple things that kind of alarmed me and go against the federal FMCSA. Because the FMCSA says you have to be able to read, write, and speak English. Federal Department of Transportation has said that. But in the state of Texas, you can go to schools that are in Spanish. I found one in San Antonio. You can also take the test in Spanish. They offer the test in English and in Spanish. Now, when you do your road test, you have to be able to understand the person giving the road test. That's the only thing it states when I looked it up online. You can't use an interpreter whenever you take your actual road test. But here's the thing. In Texas, at the DMV, when you go down there to get your driver's license, most of them speak Spanish. And there's nothing wrong with it, but Spanish people will look out for each other. So I have no doubt in my mind whatsoever that when they go take their license, that the lady or gentleman that's given the test is speaking to them in Spanish. And that's how they're getting their license, because they can take the CDL test in Spanish, and then obviously the DMV person, most likely in Texas, is going to be able to speak Spanish. So that's how they're getting through. Now, there's another way that I found, and I was Googling some stuff the other day, and there's actually a federal program, and it's a 3-step program, and I don't remember what it was called. But this 3-step program, one of the steps was English as a second language training, and it's sponsored by the federal government. So the federal government is taking people that want to apply. They're teaching them English to be proficient enough to pass, to get a CDL, and to start driving. Now, here's the thing. All these people coming across the border, yeah, they're living off the government right now, but slowly they're going to be filtering into our workforce. How many do y'all think are going to end up in trucking? You know, they're going to flood trucking with drivers. And if they flood trucking with drivers, that may very well drop our rates. May very well drop what companies are paying. Companies won't have to pay as much because they have an overabundance of drivers. Part of what keeps a trucking company raising their pay is the fact that they need drivers. They do that to attract drivers. But they're not going to have to raise their pay if all these millions of people that have come across the border, if even 10% of them decide they want to drive trucks, we got a problem. We got a serious problem. I better slow it on down to 65. Yesterday when I came through here, the state trooper's sitting up here, so I'm not going to push it. you know, we're gonna have serious problems out here, especially in the over-the-road sector. Dry box, refrigerated, and possibly even flatbed. You know, I don't know the exact numbers. I'm sure one of y'all out there watching probably has a better idea of the estimated numbers of migrants that have come across the border, or illegals, whatever you want to call them. I don't know what that exact number is, but I know it's a lot. Pretty sure it's probably in the millions by now. You know, and it's not just Hispanics though. It's people from Asia, the Middle East, you know, all over the world, not just from Mexico, not just from South America. There's been quite a few come from Guatemala and Venezuela, Colombia, but they're coming from all over the world, all over the world. Eastern Europe, everywhere. You know, and how many of these guys are going to end up in trucks? How many of them are going to be out here taking your job or my job? Just something to think about. Have any of you looked into this? Have any of you thought about this? Let me know what your thoughts are down below. I appreciate y'all stopping by to hang out. I'm gonna get this load on out there to West Texas so they can get it on out there to the frac site. Y'all take care, stay safe, and as always, keep trucking.